How's it going, everybody? Well, if you heard me talk about this a little bit in the video that came out yesterday, you're already aware that I was planning on making an announcement video about our upcoming group trip to Scotland. This has been on my radar screen for, well, since I've been doing group trips, which is about 2.5 years now. But the problem had always been that the tour company that I was using to do our group trips, their minimum cost for a group trip for a week in Scotland was over $5,000 a person. And I just couldn't, in good conscience, ask people to pay $5,000 a person to go on a group trip with me to Scotland. So I've been looking for a way to make it happen, but make it happen as reasonably affordable as possible. And I'm glad to say that we're finally ready to do that. So some of us have already been reading through this. Some of you have already read the links, but I just want to talk a little bit about our plans for this group trip. It's going to be all history, and this is for the first time a trip that I am 100% planning myself. I planned every single stop on the itinerary. I tried to squeeze in as much history as possible in an affordable way in the week that we could have together to do this. We're obviously not going to see everything, and some of the things we're going to see we're not going to have a ton of time at, but I wanted to make sure we could do as much as possible. So I just want to real quickly walk through the itinerary with you, talk to you about what we're going to be seeing and doing, direct you to the page where you can book this trip for yourself. As of this moment, we have 17 free spots on the trip. 5 have already been booked, and it's kind of cool because I know all 5 people that have already booked because they're people that have done previous group tours with me. We have this whole group of people we call repeat offenders because they come, they have an amazing time. We've all become good friends, and now we go on these tours together multiple times. So I promise you, you'll have an amazing time, and I encourage you to talk to other people that have gone on these group tours that we've done and ask them what their experience is like, because I look forward to these so much. We just have a blast exploring history together. So, all right, enough of that. Let's talk about this. So, first of all, what's the dates? What's the plan? So, we're going to be July 24th through 31st of 2026. July 24th through 31st of 2026. It's the warmest time of year. I know it's also the busiest time, but we're going really far north. And I was in some of these places in July in 2024, and it was still cold. So just so you know that. So what are we doing? Let's talk through every single day of this itinerary. And you can read all of this for yourself on the itinerary, on the page, the group trip tour guide that I've put together. You can even download the brochure and read it for yourself. We're going to start in Inverness, which is all the way up in the north in the Highlands of Scotland. It's considered to be the capital of the Highlands. It's the main city in the Highlands of Scotland. It's not all the way at the tip of Great Britain, of the island of Great Britain, but it is the furthest north kind of main city, and it's an amazing city. I've been to Inverness. Most of the places we're going I've been before, not all. Inverness is a cool city. I would encourage you to come in early that day or even the day before and explore it a little bit. We're going to start with dinner in Inverness on the evening of July 24th. We'll get a group reservation. That will be included in the tour. All your food, all your drinks, everything that you want to get will be included in that first meal that night. So then the next day we're going to jump on. I've actually contracted with Rabbies, who I've used Rabbies many times before in Scotland. They are first class. They're the best tour guides I've ever had for anything. They just do an amazing job. We're going to have a private coach that's going to just be us, just our tour group. It's a 29-seat coach, and there will be like 26 of us when you count the driver and the tour guide. We are going to have a tour guide with us for the 4 days we're with Rabbies. The first day, we are going to be going to some really, really cool sites. Let's talk a little bit about this. Culloden, the Culloden battlefield. If you are familiar with Outlander, you might know something about this, or if you've studied it all, Bonnie Prince Charlie, the Jacobite Rebellion, this is Culloden. It's an intense place to visit. It's really cool. They've got a great visitor center there. Then you go out and walk the battlefield. You see the mass graves of the different clans that fought. This was not Scotland versus England. This was Jacobites versus the government. And so you had Scots on both sides. You had English on both sides. You had different groups of people. But it really was very much a civil war. This happened in 1746. Intense place to visit. I was not going to miss the chance to go to Culloden Battlefield. I loved my first time there. So we're going to spend some time there, probably a couple hours at the battlefield. Where else are we going that day? We're going to go to Clava Cairns, which is a really cool kind of Neolithic site. And we're going to see a bunch of Neolithic history. We're going to see a bunch of Viking history, a bunch of Scots history on this trip. We're going to go as well to a town called Nairn, where we're going to have lunch. And you'll be on your own for lunch. That is not included. But you have a little time to break and go get some lunch. And then we're going to go to Fort George, which is a fort that was built in the aftermath of the Battle of Culloden. It is still to this day an active British fort. It's the home of the Black Watch, my favorite unit in the entire British Army. It will be for at least a couple more years. It won't be forever. They've also got a museum there for one of the Highland regiments, one of the historical Highland regiments. They've got an incredible museum that tells the history of some, I can't remember exactly which units they are, but it's not the Black Watch. Black Watch Museum somewhere else. But they've got some of the Highlanders there. Cool museum, check it out. Amazing fort to visit. Really, really cool. Preserved well. Amazing. Just the experience will be incredible. That first day will just blow your mind. It's amazing, some of the stuff we're going to see. So anyway, we'll come back. We'll stay in Inverness that second night. And then we'll get back on the Rabbi's bus the next day, and we are off to Orkney. We're going to be making our way up north. We're going to stop at a place called Dunrobin Castle, which is a cool kind of visual. We're just going to stop there to take some pictures, go down by the beach. And we'll make a few stops along the way on our way. Then we're going to get on a ferry for about an hour ride across the North Sea up to the Isles of Orkney, where we're going to spend the next couple of days. So we're going to be in Orkney. We're going to, let me just think about some of the stuff we're going to see. The Italian chapel we're going to see. So if you're familiar with Nissen huts, there were these like portable huts that were used during World War II. And there's this Nissen hut that was used by Italian POWs from World War II, and they turned it into a chapel. And they used only what they had on hand as POWs, like discarded cans and rubber and different things like that. And they made this incredibly beautiful place of worship that we will stop and see. We're also going to have an opportunity to see things like the barriers. They call them the Churchill barriers, which were built during World War II to keep the U-boats from coming in, because part of Orkney is Scapa Flow, which was a major military base during the Second World War, Navy base. Also there is where a number of German ships were scuttled in the aftermath of World War I. That all happened. So there's a lot of World War I history, World War II history, there's Viking history, there's ancient history. While we're in Orkney, you're going to get the chance to see the cathedral, which my daughter told me when we went to Orkney was her favorite spot that we visited there. The town that we're staying in is Kirkwall, which is a really cool little town to explore as well. We're going to go to Skarbray, which is a 5,000-year-old village that is in incredible condition because it was all buried and it was uncovered. And if you're familiar at all with it, it's probably the best preserved Stone Age site anywhere in the world. It's remarkable. We're going to go to Maeshowe, which is a burying place. It's an ancient tomb that you actually have to crawl through a little tunnel to get in. It's a big mound. But on the inside are Viking inscriptions, runic inscriptions from like the 1100s. And I don't remember exactly what they were, but they translated some of them for us. And you see things like the guy saying like Tormund is a foot shorter than his wife. You know, it was that kind of stuff, like dissing on their fellow Vikings and stuff, and just cool little like inscriptions like that they left. Really neat stuff. We're going to see that. We're going to see the Ring of Brodgar and the Druidic Standing Stones at Stennis, which are it's kind of similar. Think like Stonehenge, but these ones you can actually walk up and touch. Really, really great mix of different kinds of history that we're going to get to see while we're in Orkney. And we'll also have a chance to go out onto the west coast of Orkney and see some really beautiful sights on the ocean there. You're going to get a great mix of different kinds of history, but also just some beautiful, beautiful scenery while we're there. Day 5 of the trip, then we're going to be returning from Kirkwall. We're going to go back across across on the on the ferry and make our way back down toward Inverness. We'll stop at John O'Groats, which is the northernmost point in Great Britain. We're going to have other opportunities to see some things. We'll talk about the Highland clearances a little bit. The whole time we're on this tour, our Rabbie's tour guide is going to be giving you some fantastic history and giving you some like Scottish music and teaching you some Gaelic. If you ever hear the word Gaelic, that is Irish. That's the Irish language. Gaelic, spelled exactly the same way, but pronounced differently, is Scottish. So we'll talk about all that stuff, and you get a chance. We'll visit a little fishing village while we're there, too. Day 6, we're going to get on an early morning train from Inverness. It's about a 3-hour train ride on the LNER train down to Edinburgh, the capital city of Scotland, back into the lowlands. That morning, we'll get in probably 11-ish. You're going to have a chance to spend a couple hours on your own exploring Edinburgh, the Royal Mile. There's a lot of cool shops. There's a lot of neat history to see there in Edinburgh. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have a guided tour of Edinburgh Castle. And again, ridiculous amounts of history at Edinburgh Castle. We'll do a guided tour, and then you'll have some time on your own to see some of the sights and things like that. But for the most part, that's really the only thing we're going to do as a group in Edinburgh that day. I want to give everybody a chance to kind of get out on their own, because we will have been together a lot for the previous days. And I should mention, too, that these tours are a great mix of stuff together, but then time to yourself. Because I know not everybody wants to spend every waking minute with 24 other people. You want to get out on your own and explore, and you'll have chances to do that. But for those that want to stay together, great too. Inevitably, what happens on these group tours is a bunch of us spend all day together, and then we go out all night together, and we'll find a pub. And there will be no shortage of pubs to find, to hang out, restaurants and pubs and stuff in Scotland. There are plenty of them. We've never had trouble finding places to hang out anywhere else, even if we just hang out in the lobby of the hotel. But we love just hanging out together and going out and finding places. When we were in Prague a couple of months ago on a group trip, a bunch of us on a Monday night were at a pub. I think it was an Irish pub in Prague where they had live music till 1 in the morning. It was awesome. I mean, so we were exhausted, but we make the most of every minute on these tours, and we become friends for life. We have group chats to this day. I'm still in group chats for like our Egypt trip that we did, and our trip from Germany that we did, and our trip from Italy, and all these group chats that we have, and we keep in touch with each other, and we've made lifelong friends. It's a lot of fun. So day 7, then we're gonna I've contracted again with Rabbie's for a 1-day tour. I mostly wanted to use them so we had transportation, but I gave them a list of the things I wanted to do. So we're going to be about 10 hours that day with Rabbie's. We're going to head out from Edinburgh. We're going to go down to Rosslyn Chapel. I'm not going to talk through all the details of what all these places are. You can look them up for yourself. Rosslyn Chapel, then we're going to go and see the Kelpies, which are those big white horse heads that are real famous. And that's where we'll eat our lunch that morning. And then from there, we're going to head to Stirling Castle, which overlooks the battlefield of Bannockburn. If you're familiar with Bannockburn, it's the battle where Robert the Bruce leads the Scots in battle and wins a great victory over the English and helps secure their independence. So we'll get to see all of that. And then we're going to go to Dunfermline Abbey, one of Scotland's most significant religious sites. And again, you can look up all that for yourselves. And then we're going to come back that night and have our group evening meal together, which again will be 100% paid for. Your food, drinks, everything will be covered as part of your expenses for the trip. And then we wrap it up. That's really kind of the end of the tour. Day 8 then is really just wake up and either go on your next adventure or head home. I know some people like to come in early a day or two or stay later. I would encourage you to go spend some time, go see Glasgow, maybe spend more time in Edinburgh, see some other sites we won't be visiting. Maybe go down to York in England and see that, because that's really cool. Great stuff. So let's talk then about booking. How does it work? Well, all you need to do, and the link's down in the description, in order to reserve your spot on this tour is a $500 non-refundable deposit. And why do I make it non-refundable? Because I want somebody to have skin in the game, right? I don't want you to just say, yeah, I'm going to go, and then really not commit to it, because you might take a spot that someone else might end up wanting. Inevitably, this happens. Every group tour I've done so far, I've had people book spots, and then, like, 2 months before the tour, when the final payment is due, they back out. And now it's so close to when the tour is coming up that there's not time for someone else to book that spot because it's so last minute. And there might have been other people who might have taken that spot. So I want people who are at least fairly confident that, yes, they're planning to go. So it's $500 non-refundable deposit, and then you can either pay the whole amount's $3,500 for the trip, and that is absolutely as cheap as I can make it, while still being able to book us decent hotels and get us the best of the best with Rabbies for the tours. That includes all of your admission to anywhere that we go as part of the tour groups, all the castles, all the tourist sites that we see. That will all be included. They will give you your ticket for those, or I will. It includes your transportation to and from any of the places that we're going as part of the group tour. It includes all your hotels. It includes all your breakfasts, which will be served at the hotels. And it includes those 2 dinners, the first and last night. That's all listed on there for you. And then from there, you will need to make regular payments. And so you pay the $500 deposit, and then there's $3,000 that's left that's due, and $1,000 due on December 10th, $1,000 due on February 10th, $1,000 due on April 10th. So every 2 months to make those payments. And so by April 10th, then a couple of months before the tour, you will have paid off the whole thing. If you cancel before April 10th, which is when the final payments due, you can get a full refund minus your $500 deposit. If you cancel starting with April 10th, if you cancel on April 10th, anything up to and including on May 10th, you can get a 50% refund. And if you cancel starting with May 11th, anytime after May 10th, you can't get a refund because it's too late for me to go and change any of the bookings. I will have already been locked in and had to pay that stuff. So as it is, I'm paying a lot of this stuff up front because I have to reserve the hotels. I have to reserve the tour guides and the bus and all that stuff. So I'm already kind of putting out some of the money for that as it is. So that's all there. You can read about all of that when you go. That is double occupancy, so I will put you in a room with someone else. You'll have separate beds. A lot of people actually do that intentionally. They like getting to know someone. If you're going with someone, you can let me know at the time of booking. That's who you want to be roomed with. You can get an individual room, which is a $600 additional fee. And I'll just tell you up front, that is less than it's going to cost for the extra room. So you're actually getting a bargain with that because the hotels are by far the biggest expense of this tour. And paying $600 actually doesn't even cover the cost of getting a room to yourself, but I just didn't think I could charge any more than that for it. So anyway, that's all there. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer those. You can download the brochure. There's actually a thing on there where you can click that says ask a question, and you can do that as well. And I will do anything I can to answer those questions for you. Really, really excited about this. We do also have a couple of other tours that are currently available for book. Well, there's one other one currently available for booking. Our Egypt tour for December is sold out. We do have a Jordan tour that's coming in February, and I'll put the link in the description for that one as well. That's in all of the videos. The link has been there for that. That one, I think we still have 9 spots available. We have 16 booked or 15 booked, and we have 9 left. For that one. And then I will be announcing very soon for April, starting April 21st, we'll be doing a week-long walk of Hadrian's Wall in northern England. It's going to require anywhere from 6 to 10 miles a day of hiking. They'll transport all of our luggage from wherever we stay the night that when we wake up in the morning, we'll pack all our luggage, hand it to them. They will transport it to where we're staying that night, but then we walk. And we see all kinds of sites. We go to museums, we go to chapels, we go to all kinds of historic forts and stuff. But I'm waiting for the pricing back for the tour company that will be doing that one. We will have a guide with us for that one. As soon as I get the pricing back for them, I will announce that, and that'll also be on the We Travel site where you can book that. That'll be April 21st, and that's 7 days, 6 nights for that one. So hope to see you on one of these tours. Thanks.